Hey family, welcome. Monday Madness. We talk about travel, cruising. Thank you for those that are here, that are coming on, those that are coming into the replay. Thank you for those for coming on this Monday. And so, therefore, I am so grateful that you would come and share some of your time with me on Monday. So, if you are coming in, just let me know that you are here. And so that I can greet you, and so that we can just have a conversation. And so, therefore, it will be a little bit more interactive, and that will be great going forward. And so, last week I was not here. Why? Because I was coming off of the Carnival Glory, and so that was a quick weekend trip on Carnival Glory. If you've ever sailed Carnival Glory, let me know what you thought about it. Or if you're going to sail Carnival Glory, let me know that you're going to sail it and when you're going to sail it. And so those vlogs will be coming out next week. And so I'm still trying to finish up Sun Princess. Even though it was 5 days, I did a good amount of things on Sun Princess. I really tried to experience some of the things that I wanted to eat, the restaurants, really engage myself in this new ship. And so I came out with some videos last week. I'm coming up with videos this week. And so therefore it's coming down to a close. And then I will begin to release further vlogs like Carnival Glory. And so what did I do last week? Last week I did Sun Princess Grand Turk. Second time going to Grand Turk. And I was trying to look on my channel to see where was the video of the first time I did Grand Turk, and it must have been a time before I was vlogging. So I went to Grand Turk before, and this time I went to Grand Turk, and I decided to do something different. And so one of the things I said, I don't know if this is what everybody's views are. If you are going to a place and you've been there before, do you do an excursion again? Maybe something that you've never done before, or once you have been to a place, you're kind of like one and done. I'm done, and then you'll just try to do a beach, go to the beach, and that's it. And so I'm the type of person I usually do like kind of like a best of for the first time. Is anybody with me in that? So I do a best of a place. There's always going to be an excursion like the best of Nassau, the best of Grand Turk. So I would always do something similar to that. And after I do like the best of, then if I go back again, like in this time, was more like of a cultural tour, and it being a cultural tour, I thought I was excited about it, and I got to go to the beach. I know some people love beach. I'm not really a beach person, but this time I wanted to enjoy the beach, because a lot of people go to Turks and Caicos and just to enjoy the water and just to enjoy the beach. So, and when the driver said it was crystal clear water, when I tell you, family, crystal clear waters in Grand Turk, it was so beautiful. And so I was able to have that in my excursion, which I did not do before. I know there's a lot of people, and I said it in my video, go check out that video of Grand Turk, because I really gave some tips about if you don't do an excursion, what you can do even at the port. Let me know, have you ever been to Grand Turk? And so some people may not care for it, but maybe the next time I hang out at the port, because between the food options, there's beaches there's so many different things. And so maybe I'll just hang out at the port this time. So I'm curious to know that some people, I know somebody, she doesn't even explore anywhere she goes. It may be new, she just wants to go to the beach. I'm not that type of person. I feel like if I'm going somewhere new, I want to know about it. I want to see the country that I'm going to. I want to be able to explore, spend some money on an excursion. Yes, sometimes they can be a little bit more expensive going through the cruise ship. But I just feel like sometimes going through the cruise ship, I just feel like I don't have to worry about getting back later, because if I do get back a little late, they will wait for me and not go. And so let me know, is Grand Turk a place that you have gone to? Is Grand Turk a place that you're is coming up on a cruise itinerary for you? Have you gone to maybe Providenciales? Because Providenciales is a place. If you're flying to Turks and Caicos, the place that people love to go that has the resorts, so it's not Grand Turk, the big main island, it would be Providenciales. And that's the place that people go to and stay in one of those great resorts, maybe an Airbnb. Not saying that they don't have hotels on Grand Turk, but that is the really touristy spot. And so I've known people that have gone to Providenciales, and they had to just make sure that the waters were not too rocky, because even when I was there, the water was moving. Maybe because there was at the same time there was that hurricane in the water, and so the water was moving. I had to be careful sometimes going in, not to go too far, because I almost felt like it would drag me into the water. And so, but I had a great time in Grand Turk. If you haven't checked out the vlogs, go check that out. And I also did, and Carnival Cruise Addicts just talked about this week on their show. They talked about pizza and some great pizza. But the one thing about Princess kind of hails themselves, and they say like they're the best pizza um on on the seven seas. They're the best pizza. And so I did a review of Alfreda's Pizzeria, and so I'm very finicky about pizza. I don't know if you're an individual who live in areas where they're known for pizza. I'm from New York, and so I'm very finicky when it comes to things like pizza. So when you say you're the best pizza, I'm looking for something that's going to be outstanding. And so, like, if you come from New York, I feel like there's a criteria that you're looking for. If you come from Chicago, if you come from Detroit, um, I'm not sure if there's any other places that's really known for pizza like that, but I know those three places at least are known to have their certain style of pizza. And so, if you come for those places and you're saying it's the best, I'm looking for it to be the best. I'm looking for it to wow me. And so therefore sometimes it may be the best pizza at sea, but it cannot always if you brought it to land, it'd be a whole different story. And so I did a review on that and all the things for Alfredo's Pizzeria. And this week I have coming up teppanyaki. Have you ever done teppanyaki? I love teppanyaki for the most part. So they may have different names, like on Carnival, they have their own version of it, hibachi, teppanyaki, whatever. Norwegian has their version of it. I loved it when I went onto Norwegian. It was just the food was just so delicious. I just felt I love the show. Have you ever done that? Anyone in the comments, just let me know. Have you ever done teppanyaki in a ship? If so, what ship? I've done Carnival, I've done Norwegian, now I've done Sun Princess, I've done Princess, and so therefore Virgin. I wasn't Virgin. They didn't have a version of teppanyaki, but or hibachi. But I just in general just kind of like the experience of it. Some people have different things that I like more than others. For example, Carnival has this bento box for desserts for their hibachi. When I tell you this thing is so good. I love that box of desserts, different items in it. I think it's around six of them. I think that's one of my favorite things. And then I felt like I've had different things at different times. Like for example, I have gone to the steakhouse or certain restaurants, but when I've had the steak at the hibachi, I don't know what they do to it. It just was so tender. It was just so melt in the mouth. It almost feels like the way they cook it, they would have been like too well done. So I'm not sure what cut of like meat they're using, but like I've had it more than once, and I said to myself, I'd rather this steak than the steak in the steakhouse. So usually you could get a combination of more than one meat. So I'll get like, steak, maybe shrimp, maybe steak, scallops, whatever it is. And when I've had it more than once, I have enjoyed the steak in those restaurants way more than the steakhouse. The steakhouse sometimes, I don't know what it is. It could just be hit and miss. Whether it's either the how tender it is, or just maybe just the flavor profile. And when you see these, this is not the first time I've had this, but I showed when I was on Norwegian, the hibachi. And so in the hibachi, you could see they're putting garlic, they're putting soy sauce, they're putting, you could see that they're just putting layers of flavor into this food, and it just does taste. Hey, hey Cheryl, thank you for coming on to the live. Have you ever done hibachi? I think you have. Like, which ships have you done hibachi? I'm curious because that's what I'm looking for. I'm talking about now. And so I think so one of my favorite restaurants is the hibachi place to me. And so I showed it this week coming up for Sun Princess. I enjoyed it immensely. Um, More or less for every now there's maybe some things that are hit and miss. Not everything is perfect, but for the most part, when it comes to the entree itself, i I've enjoyed it for more than one ship, and so I can't really kind of like say for entrees like, oh, this ship was better. Some ships may be better in terms of desserts, some ships may be better in terms of appetizers, before going into the main course. But so those side elements are the things I think that really kind of makes one of those stand out to me. So if I had to compare it, it would be those. Okay, what's the appetizer? What a dessert? So I feel like Carnival may be beating the ones that I've had so far. That bento box with the desserts at the end really impresses me when I go to that place on Carnival. Only on Carnival so far. I love it and want to try it on other ships. Okay, yeah. So Sig, I did the teppanyaki place when I was on Sun Princess, and I did it on Norwegian. And so the review for the teppanyaki is coming out this week. And so also I did a video coming out this week dealing with sea days. And so I did just I kind of so I'm curious, like, since you're my family, when it comes to sea days, do you like to see like sea days every sea day? Like, I started to try to combine it so you could kind of get like elements of what happens on sea days. So instead of necessarily showing every day, especially the longer a cruise is, if it's like a 10-day cruise, then it becomes like a lot of sea days. I'm curious if they're all about the same. I think when it comes to the teppanyaki, hi TJ's Destination, thank you for coming on. I think when it comes to the teppanyaki, my favorite is Carnival. When it, in terms of the entrees itself, I feel like they're more similar. Like, it's gonna be flavorful. I've never had really a bad experience with the entree. When it comes to the appetizers, that's where they can stand out, or the dessert. So that's why I said for Carnival, I feel like no one has a better dessert and a presentation for the hibachi like Carnival when it comes to their dessert bento box. Like, I showed you what I did in terms of this week. You'll see what I had for the dessert for Sun Princess, for teppanyaki. Norwegian, I had it. I don't remember the dessert being that memorable. It was just okay. I feel like it was kind of some like tea, green tea dessert for Norwegian, if I'm not mistaken. And so therefore, I just felt like Carnival, all of them are fun, all of them are really like entertaining. And so if you go in there, just make sure that you're ready. It's a show. So people who just go in there just feel like, I just want to eat. No, it's a show. It's like a dining experience. So not just food that you're going to eat and things of that nature. And so I came back from Carnival Glory this week, and so family, let me tell you what happened. I just got to share it with you. I was in Bimini, so this weekend it went to Carnival Glory, and this weekend I came back on Veterans Day, literally in Bimini. It only went to Bimini, and not only, which I'm going to show on the vlog later on when it comes out. Not only was my excursion canceled, but and then I had to pivot and do other things. But also, when I was just walking, had my shades on, so maybe that was my era. I end up tripping, and I twisted my ankle. So so I'm there, like, I'm still trying to enjoy the trip, and I'm just limping. So I had to get back to the ship now. And then for the duration, I'm kind of glad it was a short cruise, because can you imagine, you're limping, for a longer cruise. And so I just went back to the cruise, and I decided to just ice it. and try to, like, so I was limping bad, and as I kept icing it, it kind of gotten better. But and I just had to go check it out. Just when I came back, I just needed a few days to just elevate it and things of that nature. Had a great time otherwise when I pivoted in Bimini. Have you ever been to Bimini? That was my first time in Bimini ever. So I was on Virgin Voyages, and if you follow Virgin and you know about Virgin, Virgin has their private area in Bimini, but because there was this crazy storm that weekend, they couldn't even go to Bimini. So I missed out on Bimini. We were supposed to go to Key West. I missed out on Key West. And so I couldn't even go to either one of those places. And so this was my first time. So it's almost like a catch-up time. And I enjoyed it. And if you've ever been on Carnival Glory, I don't know, I mean, anybody has been on Carnival Glory. I enjoyed Carnival Glory. That kind of just goes to show you that is not, to me, I don't need to have a big ship. I just feel like the shit needs to make sense. If that makes sense to anybody, like I just feel like the areas that they do have function in, it needs to be able to manage the crowd. I don't feel like every time you go into a space, it should be overcrowded or you can't get into a space. And so I like the fact, I just like the layout of Carnival Glory. And I just enjoyed myself. Obviously, it's going to be a little dated because it's an older ship, but I just feel like I just had a great time, experience, and the everything about it in terms of like the cruise director, the entertainment, the things that they had on the ship. I enjoyed it, and so I can go on a new ship like a Carnival Celebration and enjoy it. And then there's older ships. I know, like I did the Carnival Legend, and I kind of, didn't give it like the highest marks, but I didn't care about the configuration of some of the things on that ship. But Carnival Glory, kudos. I did enjoy Carnival Glory. Have they been on Carnival Glory? Okay. Yeah, I like Carnival Glory. It was cool. I would do Carnival Glory again. I mean, it was out of Port Canaveral. And so if you've ever done Port Canaveral, it is not easy to get to the port, right? So anybody has ever sailed out of Port Canaveral, I like the Vista and X class ships. I've never done Vista, but I have done the sister ships. So I've never done Vista itself, but I like the Vista class too as well. So I've done Horizon and I have done prior for the channel, and I've also done Panorama. I think Panorama was one of the first things I recorded. I wasn't vlogging then, but I at least did a review of Gigi's Kitchen. And so, but I love the Vista class ships also. Excel, I have done Mardi Gras and Celebration, and have not gotten to Jubilee yet. Have not sailed out of Galveston at all. I feel like, hi Tim Barrett, thank you for coming on. I feel like I think like Galveston is probably, now. Is anybody sail out of Galveston? Please let me know because I want to know. And if you're coming on, just please like as well. If anybody sailed out of Galveston, because um, I know I know how to get and maneuver around Port Canaveral now. I know that I can get a hotel in Orlando, and I use GoPort, and this is the second time I've used GoPort. Easy breezy. Easy breezy to use GoPort to set it up. I did a video about GoPort as well, and the process and how you use GoPort. And so that's my go-to. I don't look for anybody else. GoPort is my go-to when I am trying to set up something. And then I did like a package, so it included GoPort and the hotel. And when I tell you, when it broke down how much the hotel was for one night, it was like 100 and something. It was like so inexpensive. Like, I guess the package, and I'm sure normally that would not be the price for the hotel. And so, but I know there's something called Galveston Express or something of that nature. I wonder if it like kind of works the same way like GoPort. You set it up, maybe there's some kind of a package. They'll pick you up from the airport, then drop you back. Because GoPort, you get off the ship, they will be out there from the time debarkation starts to when it ends. And so you don't have to call them. You don't have to say, okay, this is the time. You set in the appointment. You just can get off the ship, go to the area, and they're waiting for you. And so even if you're waiting, you're not waiting for a long time, because this time when I got off Carnival Glory, the bus wasn't there, but it wasn't like a half an hour. It wasn't a long wait before the bus came, and so I like Gulfport. I like Port Canaveral. Okay, you like Port Canaveral? Okay, so I did Mardi Gras, and this is Carnival Glory out of Port Canaveral, and I did Carnival Liberty out of Port Canaveral. So I used GoPort for Carnival Liberty, and I used GoPort for this Carnival Glory. And I didn't use GoPort for Mardi Gras because my sister lives in Florida, and so we drove to the port for Mardi Gras. So that was great. And so on Carnival Glory, I did something I've never done before, and so those individuals, if you know John Held is the ambassador for Carnival. So he is the brand ambassador for Carnival, and I heard him say one time. He said that he was talking and people he was talking to people, and I did a what you call a poll, and I asked the question, what dining time do you like on a cruise ship? I asked early dining, late dining, anytime dining. And the poll is still up. So if you want to be able to put your comments in there as well. And so the majority of people said anytime dining. So I'm the type of person also. I used to always do anytime dining. Why would I do anytime dining? I just want to have the freedom to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And so therefore, hi, Undergo with YOLO. How are you? Thank you for coming on. Okay, so I hear Galvin Express is good. However, we've only Uber or used the ship transportation. Okay, so if you use the ship transportation, then that means that you're coming in the day of, or do you stay the night before and then you just take like a Uber to the back to the airport so that you can pick up the ship transportation? And Uber, how much? But I thought I heard Uber from Houston would be a little expensive. So I'm curious about that, especially if I would go by myself. Solo travelers, we pay so much more. We're going by ourselves, is because I'm not able to share the expense with somebody going in the Uber with me. So if you did Uber, I'm just curious, how much would that be if you went from Houston all the way to Galveston? I'm curious about that. And so I did this poll, and so anytime dining. And so why did I do anytime dining? I just feel like, okay, anytime dining, I just want to be the flexibility. Maybe I don't want to go to dinner at a certain time. So maybe I want to go to dinner a later time. So I just do usually do anytime dining. But John Hell said he doesn't know why everybody likes anytime dining. Why? Because if you do early dining or late dining, then you would be able to get your same waiter all the time and your same table. We stayed the night before regarding Galveston. We stayed the night before, Uber to the port. We take ship transportation from the ship. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, maybe that's something. Ooh, $75 one way to Galveston for me, my husband and daughter. Wow. Okay, $75. So if I do go to Galveston for whether it was the Breeze, Jubilee, I really want to go to the Jubilee one day. Since I did the other Excel classes, I wish Jubilee did some short trips, but everything is just 7 days, I believe. So I would love to go Jubilee and try out Jubilee one day, at least one time. I have to just maybe make it out. I'm sure by the time the newer ships come on, Jubilee will be a little bit less as well. But I definitely have to try it out. Okay. And so, which ships have you done? Curious, YOLO. Which ships have you done? Have you done Breeze? You done Jubilee? What have you done out of there? Did you do Vista? Because I know Vista one time was out of Galveston as well before it moved over to Florida. So I did for the first time on Carnival Glory early dining. How was my experience? I'm not even going to do a vlog about it. I'm just going to let you know. When I tell you, this may have changed my mind, people. This may have changed my mind about anytime dining. Why? Because of the fact Harmony of the Seas and Jubilee. Oh, okay, good, great. Harmony of the Sea and Jubilee, Royal and Carnival. This is the reason why it changed my mind about doing anytime dining all the time. First of all, your sale and sign card has the table that you're going to be assigned at, right? And then how Carnival does it, even if you have anytime dining, say it starts 5:30, right? you literally have to be on your phone like this, and then once it opens up to try to get a table early. If you don't do that early, as soon as, because people are ready for dinner, if you don't do that early, all of a sudden you may have to, there's been times I've had anytime dining, and you're trying to get a table through the app, all of a sudden there's a 20-minute wait, a 30-minute wait, it could even be a 40-minute wait. And so you're waiting all this time for a table, right? And so is the benefit of anytime dining really a benefit if you have to wait 20, 30, 40 minutes for a table? Think about that. So it kind of like defeats the benefit of anytime dining if you have to wait that long for a table. Whereas in early dining, the first night I went there, it was, it starts at 6. Okay. So I was thinking, okay, at first I was worried because the show, I like to go to the early show at 7:30. Will I be able to eat in time? Will I be served in time? And so there's already a line, 6 o'clock, already a line at the dining room for 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock came. So I was like, the next night, he's like, you know what? My friend and I said, instead of going 6, we're gonna go 6:05. So that cleared the way. We didn't have to, once we knew where our table was, we didn't have to wait on, if anytime dining you have to go, you have to check in, somebody has to show you. Once we knew what our table was from the first night and where it was, we went straight to our table. We went straight to our table. Our waiters knew us because it was the same waiters from the night before. And it was time, when I tell you, I guess because of the fact that the next seating was like 8:30 or something, they don't have time to waste. It was quick. We was out of there within the hour. We didn't have to wait 20, 30, 40 minutes for another table, and for a table to get called down, and waiting through the app to see when we're going to have a table to dining. And so I thought it was really good. I see the benefit of it now even more than early dining, anytime dining, because if you have to wait anyway for anytime dining, why not be able to say like, okay, I, I'm gonna do early or late, depending. Maybe you like the early shows. I'm gonna do it early, and then I'm going to be able to get to my table, eat my food, in and out within an hour. We were walking out of there maybe 7, maybe a little after 7. Enough time. People, these shows usually open up half an hour before. So 7 o'clock, a little bit after 7, walking out, going to the theater, getting our seat, be ready for the playlist production. And so I think it's a benefit. I don't know, like based upon that, I'm sure a lot of people do anytime dining, and I was the person that would always do it. But if you have to wait, this is a tip. This is not going to be a vlog, so this is just going to be right here in the live. If you have to wait anyway for 20, 30, 40 minutes to get a table, you're waiting around. You really can't do anything else. Like you may, okay, let me go to the casino for a little bit. And then you're waiting to look in, and you're refreshing the app to see, okay, they call us, the table is ready. And then they only give you either 10 or 15 minutes to get to it. So to me, I would always make sure I'm not too far away. Now, the bigger the ship, Carnival celebration, for example, the bigger the ship, you don't want to be too far. You don't want to be too far away from that dining room. You want to be close enough that as soon as they call, you're there. Like, cause the bigger the ship, you decide, oh, I'm gonna go like all the way to the other side, and then it's probably taking you 10 minutes just to go to, or even more, just to get to the dining room. And so I think it's a benefit if you try it for yourself. Next time you go on Carnival, um, I don't know, like if you go with a lot of people, or it will depending on who you're going with, and so you want to be flexible because of the people you're going with. But I think the fact that there's no waiting, you have your table, the waiters is ready for you. They're ready for you. They're like, okay, as soon as you sit down, here's the water, here's the bread. I think with anytime dining, what happens is sometimes these waiters can kind of get overwhelmed as well. They get overwhelmed. They're serving some people, and all of a sudden they get another set of people coming and sitting down, and so therefore they can get overwhelmed. But when they know that they have a certain amount of individuals that they're serving, I feel then they could deal with it a little better. And I feel like it really showed. I like Anytime Dining because there has been TJ. It's been times when I'm killing it on the slot machine. I wasn't going to leave, so I rescheduled my dining time. $40 in the machine got me $950. Oh wow, that's great. So everybody has their benefits. So let me know in the comments which kind of dining that you do like. Is it anytime? Is it early? Is it late dining? TJ loves anytime because of, and so I'm not really a gambler like that. I have done it from time to time. Um and I think if I do it, especially if it's like a C day, or if it's a C day, I would do it like earlier in the day. Or sometimes they said, I don't know if this is true for you, TJ. They said who go to the casino says, if you want to try to get the most favorable odds, go the first day. Now, is that the trick? Go the first day. Um, and so you may get more favorable odds in winning if you go the first day. And so that is my tip for you. And so I am going, where am I going next week? I am going on Carnival. I'm going on Norwegian Prima. So not even next week, literally this Saturday, I'm going on Norwegian Prima, a 7 day cruise on Bermuda. I have been to Bermuda before. I think this is going to be the last time I'm going to Bermuda. I just want to go to kind of just capture some things and do some things I've never done before. And so I've done the Prima class because I did Viva, I did vlogs, all of that. That I did that Norwegian Viva out of Puerto Rico. And so I'm doing Prima, and then next year I'm doing Aqua. So it seems like I'm going through the Prima classes, in the way that I'm doing it. So I am kind of like excited to go and check out this ship, and it is kind of like the mother ship because it was the first one that came out. And I'm always curious when ships come out. Maybe they're more than a year old. How's the upkeep of it? Are they keeping it up? Like, is it, can you see that it's kind of getting dated? I'm always impressed with cruise lines where I see them painting and really trying to refresh it and make it look good. And so I'm going to Norwegian Prima, and I am going to see how it is. I saw Sig said, she said that she does for C days because I have several C days. And what I started to do, as she said she started combining the C days, especially if there's a lot. And Saturday's embarkation day. I think I won't be getting to Sunday, Monday. I think I won't be getting to Bermuda till Tuesday. And then I'm in Bermuda for 3 days. And then after that, there's one sea day, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, how does it take you so long to get to Bermuda? And then afterwards, it seems like it's so fast to get back to New York. It just doesn't equate. So they must be going super slow in the beginning, and then they speed it all the way up so they can make it back in time. And so yeah, so I like Anytime Dining. Second day, okay. The second day is the best day for casino deals. Like those machines will be hot, they'll be paying out. So not embarkation day, the second day. All right, I'm gonna have to try it. Now, do you feel like it's more hot on certain ships than other ships? Because I have heard, now let me know, those people who are in the casino. I have heard where people said, it's like horrible. Like they would go to the casino and it seemed like nobody was getting anything. It was just like it wasn't putting out anything. People was just losing money left and right. And so they feel like was just holding back money from them. So I'm just curious because I'm gonna go on the second day now that you said that, TJ, and just try it out. Especially if I have a little bit more onboard credit, try it out and see what happens. I don't do the tables. I'll do like the machines, the slot machines, and there's certain slot machines that I do prefer to go to. I think Lightning Link. I think there's forgot the names of it. There's one with the pig, and then it bursts and things of that nature. There's another one. So there's like three of them or so that I can like. So on YOLO, always early. It's easy for us, and my daughter likes me at her club when it opens at 7. Okay, so you do early because of your daughter's club, the kids club. Okay, that makes sense. On the globe, I want to go to try. Oh, so you never tried Norwegian? You got to try Norwegian at least once. YOLO. I've tried Breakaway. That was a cruise out of New Orleans. I have done Viva, and I have done, now I'm going to do Norwegian Prima, and next year I'm going to do two. Right now is going to be two Norwegian ships. So try it for yourself. It's a different vibe. I could say this. So let's dispel the myths. So we have a lot of myths when it comes to cruises, and so I think in the next few months, what I'm getting ready to do. So if you follow me and come on, because I'm getting ready to like have some individuals who love cruises, maybe even some people from these companies, and come on, and then we get to talk about what it is that makes these cruise lines, what it is that makes them stand out as a cruise line. Because a lot of people used to say that Norwegian was like for older crowd, so and sometimes when they put that connotation in there, it makes you feel like Norwegian is like boring. And maybe it's the shit. Maybe it's the time of the year. I don't know. But we have to dispel some of these myths, and because people will hear this and they will discourage them from going on certain type of cruise lines, and they will miss out on an opportunity. The first time I went on breakaway, so spring break is not just 1 week. So because all over the country there may be schools that let out at different times. So spring break may really spread over the course of several weeks. So I went on breakaway, and it was during spring break. And when I tell you, the energy on that ship was there. Every night they had a lido deck, and there was a part of the ship in the back of the ship that they had deck parties like every night. The club, they had a club ship, so the club was jamming. Like people was in the club, they was dancing. It so because it was spring break, so you had that youthful energy, and so you had a good amount of individuals in their 20s on that ship. And so it was different races, different age groups. And so when people say things like that, oh, I thought that's just for older people. And like they have some of this, and a lot of the common things they have is the same things that they have. The casino, they had Deal or No Deal, and they did that several times. They have trivia, they do different shows, they have entertainment, they have the singers. And so the staples, they have musicians on there, they have the specialty restaurants, that and so the staples of what you would find on other ships are there as well. And so try it for yourself, even if you do like a short one or something of that nature. Would love to know what you think about it, if you do. So just try it for yourself. I'm doing a 14-day Hawaiian cruise. TJ says out of Long Beach next year. A lot of sea days. Yes. So how do you do your sea days? Do you just or do you do every day of vlogging, or like I'm starting to, and I got this from another YouTuber, and it's not something I think they do all the time, but I felt like they were so busy that they combined the sea days. And when I saw that, I was like, that's a good idea. Because combine the sea days, so like people, can kind of see, a little bit of like the fun and the activities at night, you know, of what is happening on some of these ships. And so 14 days, I would love to do a Hawaiian cruise. Anybody else did a Hawaiian cruise in here? I'm so torn, TJ, about the Hawaiian cruise. I literally was looking at it this week, literally, to do Norwegian for Pride of America. And I was also looking at celebrity, because I told Cheryl, say, I told her that I was looking to maybe even to do celebrity, Celebrity Edge. There's a cruise, and the price was good for 2026. Both of them was looking for 2026. So I'm torn because celebrity, even though it was cheaper and I could even get like a better class room, it does not go to Maui. Whereas Pride of America, it does go, but it's more expensive. And then if I go to Norwegian, I wouldn't now want just go to on the cruise. So I would want to spend a few days as well. And then at the same time, I'm thinking like that price of the flight, the flight all the way over to Hawaii. If it's straight, I think it's 10 hours. If it's not straight, connecting could be 14 hours. So I'm kind of really, it's so many different facets I think to just think about, and I'm on the East Coast. So if I lived in Florida, California, I think it would be a little different because it's right there. And so I think one day I'm gonna get there, but I'm just trying to determine how it is. And I'm sure if you're a 14-day, and so the one for celebrity, I wouldn't only have to go to Hawaii, but it then drops me back in Canada, which is not bad because it gives me a chance to kind of like get myself together before Canada. So hopefully the jet lag wouldn't be too bad. And I'm sure with your 14-day would be the same thing. It gives you a time to get yourself like accustomed in your body together before you get off of the ship. Is your 14-day with Carnival by any chance? Because you said Long Beach. Is that Carnival? Is that Radiance by any chance? Because I was looking at that also, just briefly, just seeing like what Carnival has and some of the costs it has. And so I don't vlog every day. I still like to enjoy my cruise away from the camera. I do all my editing when I get back home. I am the Carnival Radiance. See, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way too. I what I started doing, and if there's any other vloggers on here, even if you haven't said anything, just let me know. What I started to do is kind of live in the moment. And so I know sometimes as vloggers, we want to be able to show everything because we want to show like what to everybody else, like what we're doing so they could get excited about what we're doing. But sometimes you could get so caught up that you don't live in the moment. And so I feel like during the day, I took, even on Sun Princess, I took a little time during the day to lay down and to relax and just rest and chill. And then when it was nighttime, then it was like, okay, let me record, let me see what's going on, let me then record at night. And I'm kind of the same way as well. I would do, at first, at one time I didn't do that. Like, if I was using my phone, and I guess just to kind of just get ahead of myself, what I would do is just telling my process. What I would do is edit on my phone, at least something quick, and at least say like, okay, I have something, so I don't have to do as much home. And then I said, let me just wait till I get home, and then I'll just do all of that when I get home, so I could just kind of enjoy the moment and just be in the moment at the time. So so I can enjoy the experience. So vlogging at the same time, still being able to enjoy my experience. I vlog on port days, but my sea days are quiet and mostly family time. Oh, yeah. See, you're teaching me something. Okay. You vlog on port days, but my tea days are quiet and mostly family time. So, exactly. So, I feel like sea days, I want to be able to show something, but at the same time, during the day, it's going to be like, depending on the ship, there may be something different, but I feel like during the day, it's going to be trivia. There may be a little bit of some games that you can participate on that they may have in the Lido deck. But at night is where it's really going to be interactive. It's going to be the karaoke. It's going to be the comedians. It's going to be the shows in the theater. It's going to be the Lido deck parties. And so therefore, yeah, I'm glad that you're kind of, everyone is kind of saying the same thing. Like they're trying to like just be in the moment during the days, and at nighttime, if they need to, or maybe on C days at all. They just spend time with the family and just do port days. So that's another option as well. So that's great. And I don't put anything out until I get back. I'm the same way. So I don't put anything out till I get back. But at one time I was editing and I stopped that. I was editing while I was away. And not saying everything. And I know of people, I've heard of people, not know them personally, but I've heard of people that um they would, especially if it's a new ship, they would edit like a whole series, you know, um, right on the ship. And but they'll be like in their room. They're not even like, they're in their room. They're not even enjoying the the ship. They're in their room. They're on the computer. They gotta get it out, before everybody else. Somebody told me about this vlogger team that did that, and I was like, wow, you don't even get to, you're putting out the content, but you're not in the moment, right? You're not enjoying the ship, and I almost felt like, I said this one time. I don't know if this is anybody else, if there's any other content creators. I said this one time. I said, maybe I'll go on a ship one time and don't vlog. Maybe I'll go on a 3-day ship tour cruise, Maybe I'll go somewhere. And the biggest time that I have, or the best time that I have where I hardly vlog, even if I go on an excursion, is when I go to a resort. When I go to a resort, yes, I'll do, if it's a 5 day, I'll do a room tour. I will do a tour of the facility, and that's it. And my camera is not being, my phone, whatever it is I'm using to record, is not being picked up unless it's pictures with my family. But that's it. I'm not even showing the excursion. And so I feel like maybe I said that one time, like I may go on something one day and it's like, this is just me. I'm not picking up anything. I'm not vlogging. I'm not doing any reviews. And maybe it'd be like a ship that I've been on before. So it's just like, I've done this shit before. So then this time around, I'll just go on it and just enjoy it and be in the moment. So that was my thoughts on it. So, but I've been on here almost 46 minutes. Thank you so much for all those that are coming. And so I'm going to start doing a couple of things. So this is what to expect. I'm going to start doing some more polls. And so look out for those polls because I am curious about it. Even this discussion with content creators was so good because it just kind of like shows that we have like common mindset about certain things, being in the moment, enjoying ourselves, vlogging. Yes, is something that we do as content creators, but at the same time enjoying the moment, and that not everything that we do has to necessarily be captured, but we will show you what we feel, and then at the same time, if you, I mean, I feel like if you always want, I always answer the comments. I literally will go through my comments, and I will literally go and see who has comments and I will answer questions. So if there's questions about a room, questions about a video, something that they just want a question, I have. So therefore, even beyond it, even if there's something that you want to know, just I will just answer the question. And so if there's something like you just need a little bit more detail on, or come to these lives, because sometimes what I'll do is if something is a really great question, I'll bring it to the live and then I will speak about it in detail so that other people as well who did not see the question and my response can also be able to get that information. Oh, TJ, you live in California and the flights in Florida are expensive. So when I go out there, I try to do a side by side cruise to maximize my time out there. Oh, okay. You live in California. That makes sense. I only did one back to back cruise, and the back to back cruise was in Florida. Um, so I've never done more than one, but that makes sense. So since I'm living on the East Coast, so now you see, I have been to California, and sometimes you could get a good deal, but if you want like a better seat, then the better seat is gonna cost you. Like if I do JetBlue, for example, if I want to do just a regular seat, it's sometimes you can get a good deal. I try to look out. That's what I try. When it's domestic, I try to look out 2 to 3 months. Same thing like international, maybe even further. 2 3 months before. They usually say 60 days, but sometimes I start even looking out, and so to see if there's any deals going on so that I can kind of get a good deal. And sometimes, to go to California, what costs me a little bit more is because I want to love that extra leg room. Thank you, C. Thank you for coming on. Loved that interview you did with Sig, by the way. Loved it. Loved the interview you did with Sig. And so but that's where I get caught up. I'm spending money for the comfort to go to California. So I've been to California. I did California the Radiance, which if you know, Radiance used to be Victory, and Victory is my first cruise ever. So Radiance was transformed from Victory, and that was my first cruise ever. And then I did Forenzi as well out of there, and I did Panorama. So I've been to California a couple of times. So so this is your next cruise, Hawaii? I'm curious. What is everybody's next cruise? Because you never know. I didn't know that Sig was going to be on the cruise with me. I didn't know that Family Adventures, Raquel was going to be on the cruise with me, and for Sun Princess, there was a couple of people on that cruise, so I was so surprised to see them. So, let me know what are your next cruises because you never know. I may be on a cruise with you, and so we could see each other and fellowship with each other. So yes, that was fire. So yes, so let me know here or now going further into the comments, because it was such a great surprise to see some fellow content creators. You see them, you follow them, you watch them, but then to be able to see them, to talk to them, to exchange ideas, information. And if you have not gone have you have not seen it, there was an interview that I did with Sig, the solo cruiser. And when I tell you, she interviewed me while we were on the ship, and so I thought that was a I thought I was like excited. Nobody interviewed me before when it came to content created. And then we did Raquel and Sig and myself on her channel, MH Family Adventures. That was another interview where we kind of talked about our experience on Sun Princess. So go over to that channel also and check out that interview. I thought that interview was great. I thought that was a good time of just fellowshipping and just talking about Sun Princess. And so I really would like to do Star Prince next year. I don't know. Anybody in I'm cruising in 2 weeks. Is that your first time in Forenzi? I went on Forenzi and did my vlogs. Is that your first time in Forenzi? I'm curious. I am cruising for Thanksgiving. Where are you going, YOLO? If you don't mind sharing, where are if you want to if you don't want to say, that's fine. But I'm curious to see what ship you're going on, YOLO. It was a great interview. So yeah, I did Forenzi. Forenzi, I like Forenzi. I did Venetia. Did Forenzi. Different vibe. I'm trying to think which one I like more of. I can't remember now. I felt like I had a favorite between the two. It just was different vibes though. I think one was more Florence, another one was more Naples, if I'm not mistaken, between Firenze and Venetia. Venetia, I think they pronounce it that way. And so thank you so much. That is what is to expect. So I'm going on Norwegian Prem, as I said, next week. Still more vlogs for Sun Princess. I'm wrapping up the series. I did enjoy the ship. If you gotta check it out for yourself, I did the full ship tour. So also, and I just want to show the changes. They did so many changes from when it first started. I just want to show it how it looks now after they dismantled the area, the sports area, and what is back there now. So I just wanted to kind of show everybody how it looked now. Oh, see it, but see, you love the Prima? Okay, all right. So I'm looking forward to it. So I'm excited. I'm going solo, so I am going to stay in a solo room. And Sig, the solo cruiser, has now, she kind of not convinced me, but she kind of encouraged me because she likes the solo program on Norwegian. And sometimes I'm kind of like, by myself. But for the fact that there's so many sea days, maybe I think I will try to do, one of those solo meetups, and see how it is. And but okay, so the one thing about it is anybody that's going on, and I said this, anybody that's going on as a solo cruiser, um, pre the Viva, which I went on, see it with see was cool. With I like the ship, but Breakaway. When I tell you Breakaway, the way they have that lounge was so good. Every single day, up to you. Okay, good. So no pressure, right, Sig? To go every day. Maybe I just go at least once, and then see how it is. Because I want to try it. Because you made it sound like it was fun, so I want to see how it is at least one time, and see like how I vibe out, and you never know what connections I would have. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. If I feel like a nervous wreck, if I feel like, oh my gosh, what I did, because I'm still, people don't think I'm a little introverted, but I am a little introverted. So I want to try that out. But when I tell you, Sig, if you ever did Breakaway, totally different experience. When it comes to because I did Breakaway, the lounge is different. There's a bartender in the lounge, so I don't know if they got rid of it. There's a bartender in the lounge, and so it was kind of a meetup place with the bartender. You'd come in the lounge, maybe there's people would have like a drink before going out and having dinner. And so even in that moment, even though they didn't have, they did not have, for whatever reason, that shit, they didn't have really individuals that really put it together and was the host of these events. But I felt like even in that, like we've had bonded just by being in the being in the lounge with the bartender, and some of us just bonded, and we was able to hang out at different times. And so this is bartender, so it's always doing something else. And so I know that Viva didn't have a bartender. It's not set up that way. And so I'm sure Prima doesn't have that as well. So Breakaway had it, and I thought it was just different. And I thought it was like this was a great vibe, and we connected, and we were just going there in the lounge. And so Viva, I'm sure Prima is going to be saying Viva. The lounge is big and it's kind of long, and so there's no set bartender in there. There's wine. You kind of serve your own, and people just kind of come and go. It's just set up different. So I'm just curious. I will let everybody know my experience. Sig, I will let you know specifically as well. What I thought of being a solo cruiser and participating in this program aboard Norwegian Viva. So it's always good to kind of like try different things. You're cruising, try out something different. So try the TJ said it will be my third time on the Forensic. Oh, okay, so you really love the Forensic then. CBC cruising later this week and doing a trip announcement during my live this evening. Yes, you did say you were going to do a trip announcement. Okay, I'm excited. I would love to know where you're going with that trip announcement. It wasn't a ton to do when I sailed, but beautiful ship. Okay. I'm trying to think. If it was like Viva, some people, you know what? The one thing people said, so a friend of mine said about Viva, she felt like in the evening there wasn't a lot to do, like late at night. She felt like late at night there wasn't really much to do. And I think the difference was when I did Viva. I'm going to experience that because when I did Viva, the sistership of Prima, the situation was it was a it was going to a port every day. So at a certain time, I was like, okay, like I'm getting up early. I did the entertainment, did what I had to do, but I'm getting up early so that because I knew that it was going to be an early excursion, and I didn't want to be sleeping on the excursion. So this way, I'll get to experience it differently and see like if I feel like okay, what is there to do, because we do have several sea days. Breakaway and getaway are on my list. One of them is usually sailing from New York City. Okay, so CBC, are you on the East Coast? So I'm thinking you're on the East Coast, just like I am, because I'm from New York City as well. So so thank you so much for coming on. For those now are in the replay. So next week I'll be on Prima. Okay, so the thing about so sometimes I try to go live. Let me know in the comments, content creator. This is another not a gripe, but this is another thing. I have tried to go live, and so that they say, you know, streaming, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking I can stream. I could stream, I could go live. And I've tried to go live. I remember one time I did it on the MSC Divina, and I tried to go live several times, and I had to go and go downstairs, like, what's going on? I can't go live. Like it would always like stop on me every time I would try to go YouTube live. And then I did it one time on, I think it was Venetia. I did it one time, and then I did live, but then the footage was just so it was like horrible. Like the footage was just horrible. I just had to take it down. It was just, and I didn't know it was just on my end. So I asked somebody, well, do you see like what I'm seeing? And so the footage was just horrible. So do you have issues going live on ships sometimes? Is it depending on the ship? Because I have issues just going live. And so that's why sometimes I don't do it when I'm on the ship. I did it one time. I think I was coming back from Chicago and I was in the airport. So I did it because usually I do 6 hours. So I was able to do it because I was in the airport. But usually that's the reason why I don't go live. So, but I will tell you about my experience when I come back. Definitely. I use my cell phone and go live in port before pulling away. You go live in port. Yes, exactly. So by the time Monday comes, I'll be in the middle of the seas, like going towards Bermuda. I didn't know that I will need to take a look. I could drive. Okay, okay, okay. I didn't know that. YOLO, you're responding to. I didn't know that. I will need to take a look. I didn't. I'm not sure who you responded to. So, but as I said, thank you so much for coming. It's been an hour, so thank you so much for coming, being a part of this live, engaging the way, just giving me such great feedback the way that you do, and so therefore come again. I won't be going live next week, but the week after that, I will be giving you a heads up of what I thought about Norwegian Prima even before the vlogs come out, because I said after Sun Princess, the next set of vlogs is going to be Carnival Glory. And so thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone. Also, happy Thanksgiving. I won't be here to tell you. Have a great Thanksgiving. Eat a lot. Work it out, work it off later on, but enjoy your family, enjoy your time with your family. And once again, thank you so much for coming on. And until next time, happy travel. See you soon.